Hello, YouTube. This is Dana. I am back this week to show you how to freeze eggs. I have 5 chickens in my backyard and I get a lot of eggs. And so I know right now the price of eggs are kind of expensive. And so what I typically do is that I sell some of the eggs, but I always have to make sure that I save some because chickens will begin to molt, which means that their feathers start coming out and sometimes they'll stop laying eggs for a little while they're going through that period of molting because they have new feathers coming in. So right now my chickens are molting, but they're still laying. But I'm trying to put some eggs away, and also I would like to show some people. Maybe you buy a dozen eggs, but you live by yourself, and so you don't always use all the eggs in a timely manner. This way you can freeze the eggs and you can take them out and use them as you need them. So right here, I have the eggs that I just got out of my, there we go, that I just got out of my chicken coop, and it's about 8 eggs. I check my eggs every 2 days. Also, what I will need is, and this is very simple equipment. I got this at the Dollar Tree for $1 before they became $1.25, and it's just a plain old muffin tin. Now these are silicone muffin cups. I actually got these off Amazon for like $12 for 12, but I'm only going to do 6 eggs today, just to kind of give you an idea of how to do it. So what you're going to do, I'm going to put this right here. Wait, let me see to make sure you guys can see. There we go. Okay. There we go. All right. So what you simply do is that you line your muffin pans with the silicone, and I've already washed everything. You line the muffin pan with the silicone muffin cups. And I have 6. And oh, I almost forgot. These are fresh chicken eggs. Now with a fresh chicken egg, if you do not wash the egg, you can typically leave them on your counter. I've left them on the counter for a month. Or at least put them in a container and put them in a cool, dark place. And sometimes what I'll do is I'll put them in my basement because it's cooler down there, and I'll just let these sit because you only have to actually put them in the refrigerator once you wash them. So when a chicken lays an egg, there's a very small film that is laid, that is on. You cannot see it with the naked eye, but there's a film on that egg. And when you think about it, the chicken may think that it's actually going to sit on this egg. So that film protects anything from getting inside the egg. So as long as you don't wash an egg, you can leave it on your counter. Like I said, I've left them on the counter for weeks and didn't even think about it, or I'll put them in an egg carton and take them into the basement and sit them there until I'm ready to either sell them or use them. So I'm going to show you how to wash a chicken egg, because a lot of people, they're super clean and they want to do soap and water. You do not want to do that with a chicken egg, because once you take that little film, that protective film that you can't see with your eyes away, if you have soap, it can go through. And I don't know if you remember high school science, but it can actually go through the eggshell and get into your egg. So you don't want to do that. You do not want to use soap and water. What you want to do is use warm water. And we're going to go over here to the sink. I'm going to move you. There we go. And all you want to do is some warm water. I'll let that get warm. And then any things that you may have on the egg, sometimes there's like bird poop. You just want to use that warm water and clean it off the shell with your hands. Now, once you clean chicken eggs, you definitely want to make sure that you wash your hands. So I'm just going to make sure that there's nothing on there. I'm going to see if I can find one that has maybe a little bit of chicken poop on it. Okay, and I don't know if you can see this, but that's just a little bit, and it's just like a little white streak. Well, that's just poop from the chicken. So I use the warm water, and I rub it off with my hands. You don't want to squeeze the egg. You're just wiping it off with the warm water, and you want to make sure it's nice and clean. And like I said, once you wash these eggs, now you need to put them in the refrigerator. Okay, so the egg is washed, and I'm going to put it up close to the camera. You'll see all the little white streaks are gone. It is totally clean, but now it needs to be refrigerated. But since we are freezing them, I'm going to bring you back to me. we are not gonna do that. We're just gonna put them in the muffin cup. So I'm gonna go ahead and wash up my 6 eggs, and then I'll be right back. Okay, so we have our muffin tin ready. Our eggs are washed, and we're just gonna take the egg and we are going to crack it, each 1 egg for each tin. And you want to make sure that you don't have any shell. So once these are in the tins, or the silicone cups, I suppose, what you want to do is you want to put the whole thing in the freezer. Now, a lot of times what I will do is in the evenings, you know, I'll have some spare time and I have some extra eggs sitting on the table, and so I will go ahead and put a dozen in the freezer. And then when I get up in the morning, I will go ahead and take them out. So I'm going to go ahead and put this in the freezer, and then I'll come back in the morning and we will look and see what they look like. And that way you have some idea of what they actually look like. So just make sure that you don't have any shells or anything that you don't want frozen in the egg, and take it to the freezer. So I'll see you guys in a little bit. Good morning. I'm back. I'm getting ready to go out and do some chicken duty, so I just wanted to show you really quickly what the eggs look like after they come out of the freezer. I took these out this morning. And now I have a bag which I have put today's date on. And then I have a second bag, and I just marked this as eggs. And I do reuse these outer bags, and sometimes the inner bags, just depending. So you're gonna pick up the little silicone cup and you just peel it back, and that pops right out, and this is what you have for your frozen egg. Now inside of these Ziploc bags, I can usually get about 2 dozen eggs. But I'm only doing 6 because I'm actually gonna sell some eggs this week. You pull that out, and that's what you're left with. So let me get all of these in the bag. Now I will tell you that when you defrost them, sometimes the yolks, not that they're frozen, but they will be a little firm. And what I usually do is I'll scramble them up. I have even put them into my my NutriBullet and kind of whirled everything around to incorporate it and season it, and then scramble my eggs like that. Or you can just do the usual way and use a fork and scramble it, and it'll still come out. But just don't be surprised if the yolk is a little firm. Okay, so I'm gonna zip this up. Now I'm trying to get as much air out of this as possible, and I'm gonna show you how I get my air out. Everybody does it differently, I'm sure. But I will take that and I will close it down as much as I can. And then I'll suck all the extra air out. Wait, I think I can do a better job with that. And so usually I have more eggs in here. And then close it up really quickly. And there you go. Now you have frozen eggs. They're good for 1 year. Just make sure that you date them so that you know when you need to use them by. And of course, the first in is the first out. And like I said, I have about 15 dozen in my freezer about right now. And then I will double bag this. And I'll get the air out of this in the same manner. I'll just make I'll save a little bit on the edge, and then I'll suck out the air. But this one I'm just gonna roll up since I only have a few. Now these silicone cups, you can just, you wash them out after you're finished. There's not a lot on there. It's really just wet, but I washed them. You can also use them for muffins. So as soon as you know, when you're finished with your muffins, just wash them really good. So it's not like you only have to use them for eggs. Once you have them, they have multiple uses. I've also frozen buttermilk in these same cups. It usually holds about half a cup of buttermilk, which is exactly, you know, half of what I need to make my 5 biscuits. So these little cups can be used for a lot. You can freeze other things in them. So don't, get stuck on just eggs. There's a lot of things that you can freeze. Okay, I'm gonna go and do my chickens, and then I will be back and I will show you the eggs that I actually took out last night to put in the refrigerator, and we're gonna scramble those for my breakfast. So I will see you in a little bit. Hello, I'm back. Okay, so these are the eggs that I put in the refrigerator last night. And so now these are defrosted. And you see they just look like regular eggs. But what I can tell you is this, is that these yolks will still be slightly solid or firm, and that's fine because they'll melt as you cook them. So now I have put these in my NutriBullet if I wanted them to be smooth, and they do just fine. But today I'm just going to mash them up with my fork. And add my seasoning. And I love garlic, so I'm gonna put a little bit of garlic and a little bit of butter. So all I did was use my fork and I mashed up the yolks. And like I said, I have put them in my NutriBullet, and that'll make it like, I guess, the traditional way that you actually wanna see your yolks. It'll be nice and smooth and yellow, and that's fine. So I'm gonna put some garlic. And just a little bit of pepper. I have a pot getting hot. And this is what it looks like as I'm mixing it up. You'll see that the yellow part is still a little solid, but like I said, that will, when it cooks, it'll be just fine. Now, if you were using this to, say, bake, I would definitely put it in like a NutriBullet type thing and go ahead and whiz it around and break everything up so that it's smooth for baking. Okay, I'm gonna put these in the pan and fry them up real quick, and I'll be right back to show you what it looks like. Okay, so I just put these eggs in a hot pan. And like I said, if you want the traditional smooth, the way that most people are very visual when they eat, or they're very visual when they change something about their food. So visually, if you want it to be smooth, I would take either a blender or even a hand mixer and mix that up really well. And those yolks will just, they'll soften up and they'll integrate with the whites. But all I did was kind of mix it up a little bit more. And when I cooked them, I kind of mashed the yellow parts down. And this is what they cooked up into. So it's just plain old scrambled eggs. And they don't taste any different than any other egg. That's good. Oh yeah, that's definitely good. I hope this video helps you. And everybody plant something, save those eggs, put them in the freezer. Hard times are coming. And I hope everybody has a really great week. Bye-bye.